Have you ever witnessed a moment so shocking that time itself seemed to stop? A moment where a crowded room, filled with noise, laughter, and clinking glasses, suddenly fell silent? Tonight, I'm going to take you inside one such night, a night in a small-town bar where a single rip of fabric exposed not just a waitress's hidden past, but also the hidden humanity in every one of us. And by the end, you might just ask yourself, what would I have done if I were there? It was a chilly Friday night, and the bar was buzzing. Locals filled the booths, music spilled from the jukebox, and the smell of fried food and spilled beer hung in the air. Among the chatter and laughter, waitresses weaved between tables, balancing trays with practiced ease. One of them was Emma, a quiet, hard-working young woman who always wore long sleeves, no matter how hot or cold the weather. People noticed, but in small towns, you don't ask too many questions. She smiled politely, worked tirelessly, and never gave away more than she had to that night. A group of bikers rolled in, loud engines, louder laughter, leather jackets, and that intimidating presence that made everyone in the bar sit up a little straighter. They weren't bad people, but they weren't gentle either. Among them was Rick, their leader, a man known for his rough edges and quick temper. They claimed a big table in the center, ordered rounds of drinks, and drew the attention of the whole room. Emma was assigned to their table. At first, it was the usual rowdy banter, flirting, jokes, teasing. Emma handled it with her quiet composure, keeping her smile, though her eyes betrayed her discomfort. Then it happened. Rick, half-drunk and showing off to his friends, reached out as Emma leaned over to place their beers. He tugged at her sleeve, joking about how she always covered up. Before anyone could stop him, there was the tearing sound of fabric, her shirt ripped down the arm. The laughter stopped instantly. What the entire bar saw in that moment wasn't skin or anything to mock. It was scars. Deep, jagged, unmistakable scars, running down Emma's arm and disappearing under her sleeve. They weren't fresh, but they told a story of pain, of survival, of battles no one there could imagine. Emma froze, eyes wide, her tray slipping from her hands and crashing to the floor. For a moment, the entire bar was frozen with her. Even the jukebox seemed to grow quiet. Rick's smirk vanished. His drunken bravado drained from his face as he realized what he had just done. His buddies, usually quick with a laugh, stared in stunned silence. No one knew what to say. Emma's breathing was ragged, and her hands shook as she tried to cover herself again, tears forming in her eyes. Then, something extraordinary happened. Instead of laughter or judgment, the bar reacted with compassion. An older woman from the corner booth stood and rushed to Emma, draping her jacket gently over her shoulders. A man at the bar whispered, "She's been through hell," and everyone seemed to nod without even knowing the details. It didn't matter what the story behind the scars was. What mattered was the courage it must have taken for her to keep showing up every day, to keep smiling, to keep serving others while carrying invisible battles under long sleeves. Rick lowered his head. He wasn't the same cocky biker anymore. For the first time in years, shame burned his cheeks. Slowly, he stood, removed his own leather vest, and handed it to Emma. His voice cracked as he said, I'm sorry. I didn't know." He didn't try to make excuses, didn't try to laugh it off. For the first time, he was stripped bare, not of his clothes, but of the armor of arrogance he always wore. Emma looked around the room, expecting to see ridicule, but all she saw was quiet respect. People she'd served 100 times but never truly looked at her were now seeing her, not the waitress, not the scars, but her. The bar, once filled with noise and judgment, had become a place of stillness, understanding, and something almost holy. She whispered, "It's okay," though everyone knew it wasn't. Still, those two words carried forgiveness that Rick would never forget. For the rest of the night, no one spoke of what happened. The bikers stayed quieter, more subdued. Emma continued working, her jacket and Rick's vest covering her torn shirt, but there was a new air around her. People treated her differently, not with pity, but with respect. She wasn't invisible anymore, and Rick? That moment changed him. The man who once prided himself on toughness realized that true strength wasn't about intimidation or power. It was about humility, compassion, and the courage to admit when you've done wrong. He became a quieter leader after that night, and years later, he often spoke of the night a waitress taught him what real strength looked like. So, if you're watching this now, let me ask you, what do you see when you look at someone? Do you see the smile they show the world, or do you think about the battles they might be hiding? Emma's scars told a story of pain, but also survival. And in that bar, on that night, those scars changed everyone, because sometimes, it only takes one ripped sleeve, one frozen moment, for us to remember, behind every smile is a story, and behind every scar is a fighter, and maybe, just maybe, the next time you meet someone, you'll look a little closer.